Hi friends, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be working with the Griffin album dies. This is fantastic for us that like to make albums or journals. We now have a spine die and it's not too big, not too small. Here are the decorative dies and shadows dies that come with it, and you also get a beautiful embossing folder. So this is very easy to make. So let's go ahead and make these let's make a album. Okay, so first things first, you are going to cut out your spine, which is this one here for your album. So you're going to cut that out. Now the score lines are a little hard to see, so what I am going to do is I am going to take my scoreboard and I am going to deepen my score lines. So we'll just take your scoreboard, line this up, get your scoring tool, and then you will just follow your lines. So you will just follow your score lines and just trace them. And this I'm doing so that it's easier for you guys to see the score lines when we do our folds. And I need a new magnetic mat so the impression of my score lines are not as deep as I would like. So this works for me, and this is totally optional. This is not something that you have to do. This is just something optional. Okay, so then if you are choosing to do that, or if not, whatever. So now you can see the score lines. So how we're going to do this is, you see right here there is a V. You see that? It's a wide V. There are 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are going to be our key features to fold. Okay, that's what's really going to get our spine going. So per the instructions, it says to take some tape. I recommend tear tape, just it's not strong enough. I recommend like red liner tape. I will be using glue. So what you're going to do is you are going to take, you see where the V is, you want to just fold. I'm just going to fold it in half. You see the little middle score line? I'm just going to fold that in half. Okay, I'm going to fold it in half and I'm going to give it a good burnish. Okay, so now if you look at it, the little, only that section, I know there's a lot of score lines, but let's focus one at a time. So that particular V is scored. Okay, and so then now what I'm going to do is fold right beside it. There's another score line. I'm just going to fold that one and I'm just going to push it backwards. Okay, so now you have the little V score line there, you see that, and then the one here. So what we're going to do is the V, you remember you need to put tape here and tape here. So I'm going to use glue and we're going to just push that close. Okay, so let's do that. So I have my glue. It's a little dry. Let's see. Okay, should be good. Okay, so you're going to put a great amount of glue on both sides where the V is. Okay, so and then what you're going to do is the little V, just close it. Just fold it back over and close it. So I'm going to lay this down and you're just going to close it. And if you're using glue, you do obviously have to wait for this to dry. So I am going to wait for this to dry about 2 minutes and I'll be back. I'm not going to have you wait. I'm just going to sit this on top of it to kind of help it dry, to make sure it's stuck. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so it's been 2 minutes, and like I said, if you have red liner tape, this is going to be faster for you, but I do like the glue better. So now we will turn it back to the way it was, and as you can see, now we have 3 of the little V's. So we are going to work on the next V. So again, the score line in the middle of that V. I'm just going to fold it. And if you have a ruler, just use your ruler. So I'm just going to put that in the middle of the V, and I'm just going to fold it. Okay, and that's a little better. Okay, and then now the one beside it, remember the score line right beside it, the next score line of the crease of the V, we're going to push that one the other way. Okay, oops, sorry, just going to push that one that way. Okay, so then now we can put our adhesive on this side of the V and this side again. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm using a good amount of glue because this is an album and you do want this to last. So if you're using a lot of glue, it may take a little longer to dry. So there's our little V. I'm going to close it. Obviously I have to press it down. I'm going to close it, and then again I am going to use my marquee to push that and let that dry. So I will be back in 2 minutes, and this is not a pain for me. It might be a pain for you, but hey, I'm here to show you a good way to do it so that your book will last, hopefully, for a very long time. Okay, so I've let that one sit for a little bit, and then now, as you can see, we have 2 of the V's, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Now my paper is I am not using 65-pound cardstock, so this is some sturdy paper. This is 110, actually 110-pound paper, because for this album you want to use heavy paper. So again, in the middle of the little V, fold it in half, and I'm just going to use the ruler to help my fold. So I'm just lining that up in the middle and just bringing it over. Okay, and then remember the little next score line beside it, you just fold that one the opposite way. Now I know you're thinking like, oh my god, what about the other score lines? We're gonna get there, trust me. Okay, so then now I have my V again. I'm going to put my adhesive, and I am going to, so remember in the V on both sides, put your adhesive and close the little V, and then I am going to again let my little machine just kind of, this pretty much just helps it stay put and dries for a couple of minutes. Okay, and then we have one more to do and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, and for our final little V, same thing, has not changed. In the middle of the V, you just fold it, and then the score line beside it, directly beside it, fold it the opposite way. And then we will glue this final one, and then we will move on to the rest of the score lines. Okay, so get my glue, and we're going to close that final. If you're using I am taking a little longer than 2 minutes to let this dry. I'm taking about 4 minutes because I am using a lot of glue and I want this to be completely dry. So about 4 minutes, depending on what glue you use, how fast it dries and how much you use. So I'm using my favorite glue. You guys know I love Art Glitter Dries Clear, so that's what I'm using, and I'll be back and we will work on the rest. Okay, so now we have our spine, and what we're going to do now is we have 2 score lines on this end and this end, so you can now go ahead and fold those score lines. Okay, and then the other side, same thing. Okay, and then now what I want you to do is turn it up. So now, if you can see, you see how there's a score line there that has not been scored. So what you're going to do is, you see these little tab thingies right here. What you're going to do is you're going to take it and you are just going to flip it upwards. And when you flip it upwards, like, so it's not flat, flip it up, like push it up. There we go. It should stand up straight. Okay, and that's it. And it's actually folding that score line that I'm sorry, this is tough to see. It's folding that score line. So here's another one. You see the little flap? Okay, and there's a score line right there. Push this up, and it's folding that score line. You see it? It's folding it. Don't worry about this. Is the other one, but it's when you push it up, it's folding the score line. And then same thing here. This is flat. Push this up, and that score line is folded. And the last one, push it up. You can sit it. I'm trying to hold it up for you for the camera, but you want to lay it on the table and push it up. Okay, I'm just trying to hold it up so you can see it. So there we go. You now have all of your, sorry about the camera, you have all of your score lines folded, and then you have your little, there you go. So now our spine is complete. So now all we have to do is add our front and back cover and our pages. So you want to take a 5x7 card base, and how you would get that is just take your paper, and you are going to have a sheet of paper 10 inches by 7 inches, and then you are going to fold it in half, or a professional way would be to score in half. So this is 10 inches, so half would be 5. So on your scoreboard, score at 5, and you now have a 5x7 card. So what you would then do is take this, and these two outer layers are your front and back cover. So what you would then do is just take this and glue this. So you will need to put glue or adhesive. I'm obviously using glue. You're gonna put glue on this side and glue on this side, and you are going to open this up like this, and you're going to line it up, and you're going to glue that to the area where you glued it. Okay, and then you will now have a front or back cover. Okay, and you would do this for 6 times. Your front or back, whichever way direction, and then your 4 pages inside. Okay, but before I do that, I do like to put my decorative layers on my page before I do that. So I've already done that. So I have the same 5x7, and I've taken the embossing folder and embossed not the actual page, because my page is white, but my card base is white, but a purple piece of cardstock, and then on this side as well. So this is going to be the back of my album. So you need to make sure your direction is correct. So if I turn it this way, this now is the back. So I'm turn it this way, and I am going to put my glue. So here it is. I'm going to put my glue on this tab, and like I said, it's best to use red liner tape if you don't want to deal with the glue. I don't mind the glue, you just have to have patience for it to dry. Okay, so here it is, and you're just going to, you can just line it up. So you can just, if you can see where I'm lining it, just line it up, lay it down, and then bring your other little flap and close it. Okay, and it should line up perfectly. So I'm just putting that there, and you just want to flip it over and make sure, and it looks good. See that? Nice and sturdy. So obviously I gotta let this dry. So I'm gonna let this dry, and I will do the next page and come back. All right, so then now we are going to move on to the next page, and it is the same thing, except your little, now you are going to actually put adhesive on both sides of the tabs, because remember the outer, for the frontal back cover is just this one. So now your first tab, you see how you have your 4, so you're going to put some, do not put any in the, on here, that's, you need that space open. You're going to put it actually on the tab. Okay, on that side, and then on this side as well. Okay, and then now you're going to take your card base and you are going to, I just like to take it and just put it over, line it up, and just kind of close it. That's pretty much it. Just put it over top of that area you glued, close it, and then I would just press down on it like that, and to make sure it's laying flat and that it can dry. Okay, and if you flip it over, I don't want to play too much with it because it's wet and trying to dry. You see we have that space in the middle, so make sure you lay it flat so that it closes. Like I said, if you're using tape, this would be very quick. So I'm gonna let this dry and I'm gonna finish and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm almost done. So I am just going to work on my cover page. So like I said, I have a white card base and I am using some of Anna Griffin's cardstock. Now my book is pretty sturdy because I have used 110 pound for my card bases, and Anna's cardstock is like the best quality paper that in addition to Graphic 45, I think. It's like the most sturdiest. And so this is going to be a really, and then for my front cover of my book, I just use the embossing folder just like the back of it. And yeah, so the book is very sturdy and it's very, like, I don't want to say heavy, but it's definitely gonna hold up. So please don't use 65 pound don't use 65 pound paper for your, at least for your card bases. Oh no, I wet that. For your card bases, don't use 65 pound. You want to use 110 or something stronger. Now you can use 65 pound for your layering. That's totally fine to layer your like what I'm doing now. That's totally fine, but not for your base. You want this book to be strong and it's a keepsake. So, and then for the cover, again, you just do it the same way you were doing it with the cards. Okay. Oh, and then I wanted to show you that if you wanted to glue the bottom and make these pockets, you know, so that they can be pockets, I'm not interested in that. I just like it this way, what it's made for. So that's all I'm going to be doing. And then we will come back and we will cover this area up. I also wanted to show you what I was doing. If you don't want to lay your, so I just added my card cover, the card base to my cover. And then here I'm just using my ruler to kind of press down on it against the base to get that glue to stick. And then the front, I want to be careful because this is foil cardstock and I don't want any impressions on it, but there you go. So now we have this beautiful book, and then you have this. I don't want this visible, so I am going to cover this up. So it also will make the book stand up more sturdy if you go ahead and cover that up. So to do that, you are going to need a sturdy piece of card, and it is going to be 2 inches by 7 inches. Okay, and then what's going to happen is you are going to, I realized you can see my little glue streaks here with the foil paper, and I was supposed to do that with my tape runner, but I forgot. But anyways, I will be covering this up so you will not see this. So anyways, back to the spine. So I recommend putting your spine cover on with glue, like seriously, because the tape is just going to keep lifting. And yeah, I recommend using glue and use a good amount. And you want to put it everywhere, especially at the corners. Okay, like that. And then you kind of gently stain your book, like line it up. And you're going to, not line it up, but hold it up. And you're going to place this. And you're kind of, I know you can't see me, but I'm kind of pressing down. And it's straightening out my book. Okay, and you want to give it a good, make sure it's positioned right. And you can also do it like this where you lay it down. So then what I'm going to do is take my ruler and I'm just going to go in between each of the little crevices, and that is going to get the glue to stick to the spine. Okay. Okay, so then just flip that over and right here. Okay, make sure you have it. Make sure you pay attention to every corner. Okay, so that corner is taking a little bit to stick. So I did 2 by 7, and as you can see, if you see here, a little bit, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus. Just a moment. Okay, so you see a little bit sticking out there on the ends, and then on this end is perfect. So you might want to cut it 2 inches by maybe 6 7/8. So really, just to solve that problem, gently just cut it off, and no one will ever know. So that is our completed book. Look how much much better it looks now with the spine cover on the back. And yeah, look at this beautiful book we made. So now you just go in and you will embellish and decorate and all the things you want to do to your book. So I will be going ahead and do that, and I will be right back. That's that. So then here is our album one more time. Very pretty. And I think I'm going to add this to the page. Yeah, because I don't like how that looks by itself. Okay, and we are done with our beautiful album. You can then obviously dress it up as more as you would like. So I just wanted to use Anna's papers and her stickers and just everything Anna for this, so you can see her beautiful album, and I love it. I'm so glad we have this. So here we go, and there we go. So again, that is it. I don't know if you can see it, but there are glue streaks everywhere, and I forgot to not use glue, and I forgot to use my tape runner for that. So what I have is this one, and I'm going to have to cover this up. And thank goodness the little ferns are not in the way that I can do so. So I'm going to cover up a little fern just a little bit, but not too much. Okay, so yeah, I had to do that. Okay, and then I can put these little flowers are just like not sticking, like, because this one is even trying to come off. So I have another album that I would like to show you. Hold on, I don't think this is, I think I need to straighten it a little more. There we go. Okay, so let me show you another album that I made. Okay, so I'm stuck on this bow. Yes, no, where would you put it? In the middle? But I don't want to put it in the middle because I want the recipient to be able to put something. Okay, whatever, I'm just not going to do the bow. Okay, so this book is finally finished after what, 30-40 minutes. Okay, so I have another book to show you, and let me get it. Okay, so here is the book right here, and I did add some decoration on my spine. So I didn't do it on the other one. I'm thinking about it, but don't neglect your spine. So here's the front, and I made this book using the Crafter's Companion. I made this book using the Crafter's Companion Spring in the Air. I think it came out last year, 2020. Yeah, Spring in the Air collection. I don't think it's available anymore. So how pretty. And the next pages, some pretty little boots, some flowers, beautiful watering can, and love these papers. And then this one here, 2 little frames and beautiful word. And then this also came with some corner dies. As you can see, I cut out the corners. So the paper is very pretty. Look at the paper. Scripting, beautiful flowers, more flowers, and I just cut out flowers too. These flowers also came with that kit, asters and primrose. Rain, more rain and clouds. And then this page here, beautiful paper, and it also came with this window with these beautiful little flowers and butterflies. You piece them together. Obviously you cut out your flowers or whatever, and yeah, stamp them. I didn't stamp them, but you can. And then that window actually opens, but I glued it closed. And then the last page, there's a beautiful umbrella page with some flowers in it, so I just put some actual little flowers in there. So a pretty spring book, and then the back of it as well. So I hope you guys like my little albums that I made. And yeah, I hope you guys found the video helpful. I'm pretty sure it was a long video, longer than I normally do, but some of these things take time. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me, guys, and I will see you in another video. Bye.